Hey everyone, how's your night going? My night's going pretty good. Just had dinner, did my oral hygiene, and I'm ready to do this. Sorry, it took longer than I expected. I was gonna do it last night, but the pay-per-view ran to like 10 o'clock at night, and I was just tired. I was exhausted. My voice was hoarse. Just not a good time to do a video. So I decided to do it today. And hey, Jared. So there's a lot to discuss, and I wrote a lot. You guys can't see because the screen's too bright. So, anyways, Bound for Glory kicks the night off with the Hall of Fame induction, and there's a helicopter outside. Fuck you, helicopter. Bound for Glory kicks the night off with a Hall of Fame induction ceremony for Awesome Kong. It was a beautiful moment. I actually cried a little, I'm not gonna lie. After she made her speech, I don't remember word for word, but she gave a hug to each member of the Knockouts. And as soon as she got to Rosemary fought her off as long as she could, but Awesome Kong got that hug. I thought that was pretty cool. So that was a pretty good moment. Next up was the Digital Media Championship match. Jordan Grace versus Crazy Steve versus Madison Rayne versus Fala versus John Skyler and versus Chelsea Green. This was a crazy ass match. There was a fun little callback spot that Chelsea Green did to Madison, and that was her patented curb stomp. So yeah, in Madison Rayne's and Chelsea Green's previous matches, Chelsea Green always did the curve stomp to Madison's head, and I thought that was pretty cool to see a callback. It was beautiful. All six looked great out there. It will definitely be one of the matches you'll watch over and over again. But in the end, Jordan Grace came out the victor, and she is the new digital media champion, or the first inaugural digital champion, however you pronounce it. Then the actual show begins, and the inspiration come out to someone singing. I think it's the person. I didn't catch her name, but she's the person that they went to for her to sing their theme. And she got the whole entrance. She got to speak on the mic, and everything was great. They get the mic, and they talk of why they came to Impact. They said they are here to inspire. They do the pose, the whole superhero thing. Out come Decay, looking fierce as ever, looking to crash the Inspiration's debut. What a solid match. The Inspiration looked strong against Decay, but Decay was stronger. There was a few spots that were awesome, like Rosemary biting Jesse's face or Cassie's beautiful scorpion kick. Again, that scorpion kick was absolutely beautiful. An absolutely phenomenal match, and the Inspiration are the new Knockout Tag Team Champions. Now, people were upset about this because they're winning it from Decay, but come on, you're not going to bring in a polarizing team like the Inspiration and have them lose their first match. Should they have not gotten the tag team title match? Debatable. But you were going to have them on the card of the pay-per-view to get buys. So either they were going to be in the Call Your Shot Gauntlet, which they would have made that much of an impact, or they would have went for what they wanted, and that was the tag team titles. So you're going to give them what they want because that's why they want to be in the promotion. And yes, unfortunately, Decay had to eat the bullet. It's called business. It's called booking. And it all made sense. We can be mad about it. You can hate it. But it all made sense. Up next, El Fantasma versus Macklin versus Trey Miguel for the X Division Championship match. What an absolutely fantastic match. I was speechless. The whole time I was just glued to the screen. All three left it all in the ring. Near the end of the match, it was just Trey Miguel and ELP. ELP tried his nut shot on Trey, but Trey was wearing a cup. One quick kick to the head, a brainbuster, and a Meteora, and we have a new X Division champion. So yeah, Trey Miguel became X Division champion last night. Up next, VBD versus Heath and Rhino, maybe. Heath comes out and Rhyno doesn't come out after Heath enduring and fighting for his life for half of the match. Just when it seemed all hope was lost, Rhyno comes out in a ferocious fury and he's ready to be tagged in. After he gets tagged in, a powerful rebirth emerges and a massive statement. He took out BBD in a vicious onslaught, and Heath and Rhyno are back. Rhyno won the match with a gore. Okay, I need water for this one. This is a long one, and it's the full Call Your Shot gauntlet, and let's just say I have the whole match to talk about. Just look at all that. My fingers nearly bled writing this out. All right. Let's go back. Up next, to Call Your Shot Gauntlet. I'll try to cover this as much as possible. The first entrant is obviously Chris Sabin. The second entrant is a surprising Rocky Romero. I'm not that too surprised about Rocky Romero. He does some producing work for Impact. And he was probably not going to be one of the surprises because one of the surprises fell through. There were going to be a lot of surprises, but Impact didn't get him in time, or the negotiations fell through. So Rocky Romero was one of the surprises, but I didn't really call him a surprise because he does do some producing work for Impact and in New Japan, and he comes over and helps New Japan work with New Japan. So he was just there, and they decided, you know what, put on the tights, go out there, do your thing. They start the match with a handshake after they do some dueling with each other, and they're like on equal terms of awesomeness. So they shake in respect. They start the match with a handshake. The third entrant is Madman Fulton. He quickly takes down Rocky and Sabin. The fourth entrant is Rohit Raju, and he comes in and agrees to team with Madman Fulton by doing a little fist bump. And he does a fist bump, or he puts his hand up, and Madman Fulton fist bumps his hand. So that was a bit awkward. He quickly takes down Rocky and Sabin. The fifth entrant is Tasha Steelz. She comes in and is stopped instantly by Rohit and Fulton. Then she joins their side by beating on Sabin and Romero. After all three beat up Romero, Rohit tosses Romero to Fulton. Fulton takes him out with a boot, and then Rohit tosses Romero out of the ring. First elimination. The sixth entrant is Rachel Ellering. She quickly attacks Tasha Steelz. She fights off Madman Fulton while Rohit is on the outside of the apron. He holds on for his life by grabbing Fulton's hair. It's at that moment when Chris Sabin and Rachel eliminate Fulton as Rohit slips back in the ring. The seventh entrant is Savannah Evans. And then after she didn't make too much. She just joined with Tasha Steelz, and they were working on Rachel Ellering at the time. And then the eighth entrant came out, Johnny Swinger. Rachel eliminates Savannah Evans, and then off camera, Tasha Steelz eliminates Rachel. Because it was off camera, Johnny Swinger was still doing his entrance, walking down the ring, doing his little poses for the cameras and the fans. And during that time, Tasha Steelz eliminated Rachel Ellering. Then off camera, Tasha eliminates Rachel. Rachel is unimpressed with Swinger's antics, and then out comes the ninth entrant, which is Melina. She quickly puts her focus on Tasha Steelz, then turns her attention to Johnny Swinger. The 10th entrant is the Demon. Swinger seems excited to see Gene Simmons. Swinger gets out pen and paper trying to get the Demon's autograph. The Demon obliges, then tosses Swinger out of the ring. The 11th entrant is Brian Myers. He quickly takes down Sabin. The 12th entrant is Matt Cardona. The Learning Tree, Zicky Dice, and VSK tried to delay his entry, but he quickly stops them. Myers and Matt duke it out. The 13th entrant is Laredo Kid. Melina eliminates Tasha Steelz while doing a splits, pulling down the rope and causing Tasha's momentum to toss her out. And then Myers seeks an opportunity to eliminate Melina. The fourth entrant is Sambiel. He agreed to work with Myers again and beats on Cardona together. They try to eliminate him too. The 15th entrant is Rich Swann. Myers told Beal to attack Swann, and he obliged. Swann quickly overpowered Beal's attack. A vulnerable Rich Swann in the corner. As Miles looked back, he tapped Beal on the back, saying, "Good job." And then with a quick motion, he eliminates Brian Myers. Supposedly, he did learn something from Brian Myers. The 16th entrant is Ace Austin. Ace quickly attacks for heat, then focuses on the demon, and then eliminates the demon after a fury of kicks. The 17th entrant is Moose. He quickly attacks Rich Swann, then a brave Sambiel hits Moose on the back, and Moose took Beal out for the attempt, tossing Beal out of the ring. The 18th entrant is Eddie Edwards. He goes straight for Moose, but Moose throws Laredo Kid at him. He sidesteps and tosses Laredo over the top rope, eliminating him. Then Eddie focuses back on Moose. Moose rolls out of the ring to get away. Then Eddie dives through the ropes, taking out Moose. Then Moose powerbombs him on the apron. The 19th entrant is Alicia, and she brings out Kenny and Kendra, the kendo sticks. Moose meets her on the ramp. She swings a kendo. Moose catches it and throws it out of her hand. Moose with one finger, or two fingers, either he pushed her by her forehead and she fell on her butt. I don't remember how many fingers it was. I think it was only one. Throws it out of her hand. With one finger, pushes Alicia down on her butt. Eddie picks up Kenny and swings it at Moose. Alicia picks up Kendra and swings it at Moose. Eddie and Alicia beat the holy hell out of Moose, turning the kendo sticks into splinters. The 20th entrant is Morrissey. Eddie and Alicia wait for him in the ring. They hit him with the kendo stick, but then Morrissey quickly overpowers them. He picks Alicia up and tosses her out of the ring onto the learning tree. I have no clue why they were still out there. Maybe they were to catch falling bodies. I don't know. Or to get a ringside seat. Eddie picks up Kenny again. Eddie picks up Kenny, the kendo stick again, and continues his attack on Morrissey. He's trying to swing one more time, but Moose stops the kendo. Eddie turns around to evade, but Eddie swings it at Moose. Moose ducks and inadvertently hits Morrissey with the kendo stick. Then Moose tosses Eddie out of the ring. He swings over the ring rope. Moose tries to attack Eddie. Eddie fights him off. Then Morrissey, with a big-ass boot, kicks Eddie off the rope, eliminating him. Moose then looks at Morrissey and pointing out their next targets. Rohit decides to join their alliance. Like, hey, yeah, we're top guys. Let's eliminate him. Let's eliminate him. You're going over because we're the top guys. Oh, no, I lost my place. Rohit decides to join their alliance, but they toss him out for trying. Then Rich tries his luck against the Behemoths, fighting them both off with kicks and punches, but to no avail. Meanwhile, Sabin and Ace Austin fight in the corner. Ace gets fancy using the ropes, but on reflex, Sabin pushes Ace out of the ring, eliminated him. Fulton invaded the ring and played Sabin out. Then Moose and laid Sabin out. Then Moose and Morrissey casually eliminate Sabin. Now, when I say casually, they literally pick them up, pick the groggy Sabin up, put him to the ring, and just lightly flipped him over into out of bounds because he was already groggy. There was no way he was going to defend himself to get back in. So I thought that was pretty cool. Moose focuses on Matt Cardona. Matt Cardona avoids him and gives a radio silence. Then Matt turns to attack Morrissey. He gets a big boot to the face. Rich tries his luck and fights valiantly, but Morrissey quickly overpowers him. As Morrissey has Rich over his head and about to eliminate him, Moose decides this is a good opportunity to eliminate them both. Now it's down to just a match. Moose quickly gives a furious offense against Matt. Matt takes out Moose and tries to do a radio silence off the top rope and misses it. And then Moose spears him for his mistakes, and Moose is the call your shot winner and captured the trophy. That was a lot. I should have brought some water. Okay. Up next is the World Tag Team Championship match. Bullet Club versus Finn Juice versus Good Brothers. Another solid match. All three teams gave their all. It was pretty equal the whole match, but near the end, it looked like Finn Juice had the victory. After they did a finishing move, Carl Anderson just slightly taps Juice Robinson's foot, so he's unaware of the tag. Juice does his big move, goes for the pin, and Carl slinks in and tosses Juice out of the ring for his effort. And then Carl pins Chris Bay to remain World Tag Team Champions. Now, they were the only ones tonight to retain their championships. Wait, I probably shouldn't have just said that. Damn it. Oh well. Up next, the Knockouts Championship match. Mickie James versus Deonna Purrazzo. Before the bell could ring, Mickie attacked with a violent fury. They brought outside of the ring for a while. So after like 5 minutes of being out of the ring, they finally start the match. But Deonna dominates Mickie for the first half. In the middle of the match, it looked like Mickie got her second win and started fighting back. First, Mickie James did her finisher, the Mickie DDT. Deonna kicked out. And then later in the match, Deonna did the Queen's Gambit, and Mickie James kicked out. After that, Deonna grabs a chair. Brandon Toll took it away. Then Deonna forces her in the corner. She fights off Deonna. Then Deonna does her splash, but doesn't hit Deonna. She hits the ref with it instead. Deonna then grabs a chair. Mickie on reflex doing her Mick kick, kicking the chair into Deonna's face. Then Mickie pins Deonna. She kicks out. Mickie then goes in the corner. Deonna meets her on top. Deonna tosses her down by the arm. Like literally, she grabbed her by the arm and judo threw her off the top turnbuckle. Mickie recovers and hits the tornado DDT off the ring rope and wins the match. Yes, new Impact Knockout Champion Mickie James. 10-time Knockout Champion. So that's pretty cool. Now up next is the main event. The Impact World Championship, Josh Alexander versus Christian Cage. Before the match started, Impact panned the camera over to his family, his wife Jade, and his son Jet with eager eyes and hopeful smiles. This was a great match. Josh Alexander and Christian gave their absolute all, with Christian throwing everything at Josh Alexander. Josh had an answer for everything in return. Both were in the fight of their lives. Near the end of the match, Josh had Christian in a leg lock. Christian tried getting to the bottom rope to break it. Then Josh stepped on Christian's hand. Like literally, he stopped his hand from getting the ring rope by stepping on it. I've never seen that before. Like that's the first time I've ever seen that happen. Is someone stopping the ring rope by stepping on their hand. That was pretty creative. Christian had nowhere to go and no way to break out. He tapped out to Josh, and Josh has finally done it. He has become Impact World Champion. As Brian Hebner places the championship at Josh's feet, Christian takes it back, stares down at it, and then drapes it over Josh's shoulder and gave him a hug of true respect. Then Josh Alexander celebrates his victory as his family is brought in the ring with them. They hug. Jade and Josh Alexander give a kiss. He kneels down to his son Jet, shows him the Impact World Championship. They both have tears in their eyes. It's a very happy moment. Just when everything was going right, a beautiful moment was told, but Moose slipped in the ring while Josh's family was in the ring, handed over his call his shot trophy. Josh, sensing the urgency, he quickly escorts his family to the corner of the ring out of the way. He turns around and is speared to hell by Moose. And now we have a new world champion, a laid out Josh Alexander beneath Moose right in front of his family. What a moment. What a crazy ass night. BFG was a success. I had a lot of fun watching it. You should all watch the replay. And now we wait to see how these weeks play out and what happens on the road to Turning Point. All right. Yeah, that's that was great. That was a good show. Definitely worth the $40. So now there's a shit ton of comments. So, Jared, as usual. Hi, Cody. What's up? Josh Alexander will get his rematch eventually. Uncle Rhino, yep. Minoru Suzuki versus Eddie Edwards. Great match. Did Moose betray Morrissey? Yes. Buddy Matthews and Adam Shearer should show up at Impact Wrestling. That was probably the plan, but this discussions fell through. Mercedes Martinez versus Mickie James for Impact Knockout Championship. Yep, that sounds like a good match. Decay versus Good Brothers in a Monsters Ball match for Impact Tag Championship. Is Bray Wyatt going to Impact Wrestling? Who knows? I mean, I don't even know what Bray is doing these days. I thought there was talks between him and Impact, but a lot of resources are now saying that there's no way that anything was close to having Bray Wyatt at Bound for Glory. So I don't know. He's probably going to go to AEW, be the new face of the Broken or the Dark Order in some losing faction that hasn't made any impact at all in the 2 years of the promotion. And I think Bray deserves better just be tossed into a faction. But apparently that's what is going to happen. That's what's going to happen because Bray doesn't want to choose Impact Wrestling. He wants something else, and it's most likely AEW is going to be his destination. Okay. Josh Alexander versus Moose for Impact World Championship. Probably. Evil Uno should show up to Impact Wrestling. That'd be pretty fun. Moose versus Morrissey for the Impact World Championship. Maybe. Heath and Rhino versus the Good Brothers. That sounds like a great match. Moose versus Eddie Edwards in a no rules match for Impact World Championship. Sounds great. Minoru Suzuki versus Sami Callihan in a no rules match when he returns. See, that's the thing. Sami Callihan is not returning till mid of next year, which unfortunately I think that's when Minoru, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm gonna just call him Suzuki. Suzuki is back in Japan. I don't think his U.S. tour extends that long, but we'll see. Bray should go to Impact. I agree. I mean, he's a supernatural genius, and he has all these dark, fiendish characters that he could explore with Impact's creative team, and they would give him a very lengthy reign with this character. Just look what Broken Matt Hardy did, Brother Nero did, what Su Yung is doing, what Decay has been doing for 4 years. But he doesn't want all that. I mean, I'm confused. Like, yeah, sure, Impact is not in front of 15,000 fans, but what they give talent exceeds that. It doesn't matter who's watching, as long as they give you what you want, as long as they give you a platform. I mean, Tony Khan already said he's not going to do supernatural things in his company, and proven fact, Abaddon has been on the roster for a year and a half, and what has she done in AEW? Nothing. She was in one championship match, I believe. Maybe even not that. She was in a number 1 contenders match. And that was it. And now she's only in Dark and Elevation. She's no longer seen on Dynamite. So they have this dark, spooky character, Abaddon, which is a Su Yung knockoff, and nothing is done with her. Then you have Malachi Black, which is somewhat darkish, but it's just him being him. It's not a character or a gimmick. And he just comes out with face paint on. Like, Impact would give him a platform and a landscape. They would put him in storylines where he can go out in the woods, speak poetically, have a lantern, be creepy as fuck, because they do character advancement. AEW doesn't. It's straight up wrestling and straight up personalities, but no character growth. But that's the end of that rant. I really hope Bray Wyatt chooses Impact, but if not, whatever. W. Morrissey versus Madman Fulton. That sounds like a good match. Impact is good with supernatural characters. Yeah, it's been scientific. It's been proven. It's been proven they have the best character work. They can give anyone a character and have them knock it out and have the talent knock it out of the park. Abaddon versus Rosemary versus Su Yung in a 3-way Monsters Ball match. Maybe. Have to read Jonah Rock should show up at Impact Wrestling. Apparently there's talks of him coming, but I don't know. I don't know who's coming anymore. All that I know is forget about all these big names. Forget about Bray Wyatt. Forget about Braun Strowman. Forget about Buddy Matthews. Forget about Johnson Reed. Just freaking land Lady Frost. Like, and her husband. They are polarizing. They are amazing. They are freaking awesome. Tearing apart the indie scene. And they deserve to be on TV every fucking week. And I'm just waiting for the opportunity for Impact to give them that. And it's going to be amazing. Hopefully it's this time or next year. But I'm really excited to see what they do. I mean, there was a rumor going around that Lady Frost was offered a contract. And maybe that was a rumor, maybe that wasn't. And then she said, I will not confirm or deny. But we'll see. I really want to see Lady Frost and the Savage Gentleman in Impact. Impact is a place for couples. And like the whole roster is in a relation to have like 90% of the roster is in a relationship. You got Eddie Edwards and Alicia, Macklin and Deanna, Rich and Su Yung, Havoc and Sami Callihan, Madison Rayne and Josh Matthews, Chelsea Green and Matt Cardona. Yeah. So, and then if you add Lady Frost and the Savage Gentleman, there you go. You got another couple. But that's enough of that. Jonah Rock, Moose, what's your wish list of hopeful signing? I just said it. I don't care about all the big characters or big signings. I want to see Savage Gentleman and Lady Frost in Impact Wrestling. But I also want to see the Blonde Force Trauma in Impact Wrestling. Giselle Shaw would be a good one too. I like Wrestle House. Yeah, I miss Wrestle House. It was great. Anyways, this is about 30 minutes in, and my voice is dying, so I'm going to cut this pretty short. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to talking with you guys on Thursday. Who knows what Impact has planned? We'll just have to wait and see. Thank you, guys.